Now they're going to get into a conspiracy theory. It's about the Chicago Olympics. Now, this was before it was decided that Chicago was not going to get the Olympics, okay? But they were convinced that they were going to and came up with a conspiracy theory. So this ought to be fun. Jay Severin and Glenn Beck. Let's listen.
I felt only slightly out there yesterday when the instant or the day before, when I heard about the Chicago deal, the Olympics, the things that fired off in my head was, this is a done deal. He could never be as stupid as to go and not have it be a done deal. And if we stipulate that for a moment, I immediately said, who owns that real estate? And lo, did I turn on, I record your show, and right after mine, I turn on, I see one with Pat Goodell yesterday, your guest, and he says, this is going to be the biggest case of corruption in the history of corruption. You know, if Patriots had a Pulitzer Prize, it's sitting there waiting, is it not, Glenn Beck, for someone willing to ask the simple question, who owns that real estate?
Can I say something? I know who owns the real estate. It was the opening 20 minutes of the show tonight. Wait until you see it.
I'm sorry, I was doing radio. I'm pursuing my brilliant policy of ratings by telling people to turn me off and watch you. At 5 o'clock. No, but tell me, because I don't know. This is news to me.
Wait until you see it. And here's the thing. You know, I had a guy write to me, and he said, Glenn, you've said before that there's a Pulitzer Prize waiting for somebody who's willing to do the hard job and ask the hard questions, and it's the biggest story in American history. It's not the biggest story of the 20th century. I believe what's going on now is the biggest story in American history because our sovereignty is being taken from us in the middle of the night, and everybody is either complicit or apathetic or full-fledged in on it. And he said, I'm an investigative journalist. I'm old now, but I want you to know I put in my will my Pulitzer to go to you. He said, somebody should be doing it, and you're the only one doing it. I'm not a journalist. There are journalists out there that should be doing their job. I'll tell you this, the Boston Globe did a story on somebody who stands a lot to gain a lot of the things that are going on right now she's responsible for. And if you want to read about Chicago and the land that they're talking about, read the Boston Globe and Valerie Jarrett, the president's closest advisor.
So that Pulitzer for figuring out who's going to profit so much from the Olympics coming to Chicago because it's a done deal, who does that Pulitzer go to? Oh, wait a minute, that's right, Chicago didn't get the Olympics. So that conspiracy theory turned out to be totally wrong. The greatest story in American history.
Ever.
He said not just the 20th century. As Joel, our viewer who sent this in, pointed out, we're in the 21st century. Try to catch up a little bit. But it doesn't matter, 20th or 21st.
I liked when Jay Severin was first doing the introduction. He goes, I've been on the air for a 10th of a century. Most people call that a decade.
These guys are total and utter clowns, man. Oh, it's a done deal. I said, okay, but who's going to get rich off this? We know what's that. We're on to you. And then, of course, when they didn't get the Olympics, we showed you, Glenn Beck came on the air, like, ecstatic over it. Like, yes, we didn't get it. What happened? I thought it was done because Valerie Jarrett was going to get rich off of it. It's weird how your conspiracy theory didn't work out. Now, for a final little bit of oral, they're going to go back and forth here, but it's mainly, again, Jay Severin pleasuring Glenn Beck as he's leaving the program. On the way out, hold on, I'm not done yet. Get money shot. It's time for the money shot. Let's go.
Glenn Beck's new book is Arguing with Idiots. It is a fabulous, important, wildly entertaining book. Glenn Beck's television show is the most entertaining and important, I stand by this, that will ever have been on television, given the collision of Glenn Beck's insight, his talent, and the trying and challenging times for Patriots right now.
My gosh.
Glenn Beck, I'm really so grateful to have you, and I hope that somewhere you can carve out a couple of minutes again to come back to Boston and
I would love
talk
to be.
to us about this.
I'm so flattered by what you say. You are really, truly legendary in my office just because I'm always told you're no Jay Severin. And it's a pleasure to be with you, Jay.
Glenn Beck, you're most gracious, brilliant. Thank you for the time. We hope to talk again. That's Glenn Beck, and he is right now the most important thing you can do. When you say, what can I do? This book, Arguing with Idiots, his television show. It's the most important thing I'm doing, most important thing I think you can do.
What do you think, full facial or just pearl necklace?
I definitely think he needs to wipe his mouth off.
I've never heard anything like that, man.
Can't get enough of the Young Turks? Well, then subscribe to the TYT's YouTube channel. What's the matter with you?